2024 is an election year in South Africa, and economists say this will cause uncertainty until a new government is formed. The uncertainty will likely dampen investor confidence, adding to the challenges brought about by the electricity supply constraints and inefficient logistics. Visiting professor at the Wits Business School, Yane Rosso, says this will lead to a lackluster economic performance this year.
In the period up to the elections, there will be a lot of uncertainty, and thereafter a new government will have to be formed. So unfortunately, 2024 will again be a year of low investment in South Africa. As a result of that, economic growth will not accelerate very rapidly, and therefore poverty and unemployment will remain a major problem. We can only hope that the election date is announced earlier rather than later, so that businesses and South Africans can start to plan accordingly and try and do their best to get the South African economy to a much needed higher growth trajectory.
It's also believed that inflation could come down to within the Reserve Bank's target bracket of 3 to 6%, which could see the central bank cut rates in the second half of this year.
We see economic growth at 1.6% for South Africa, and then we are seeing inflation to drop in the second quarter of 2024, and then we expect the Reserve Bank to cut repo rate from July MPC. I think the risk that we see is South Africa is going for an election year.
Economists say while the risks to the economic outlook remain elevated this year, economic prospects will be determined by progress made in terms of resolving structural impediments. Gloria Sefagomosi, SABC News, Johannesburg.